Hi everyone. Hope you're all doing well and staying safe. I'm going to try a little tips and tricks video today. Mostly for the people that are struggling or having trouble with this reeving. And it is the toughest part of these cranes is this reeving. Uh, I'm sure everybody got a couple of their own little tips and tricks. I'm going to share mine. They work real good for me. I'm going to go over some of them real quick and show a few things as best I can and hope I can help some people. I did get these with one of the kits. I've only used them once. It's really hard to thread these. And I'm going to show you why in a minute, especially for me. This little puppy here works real good. It comes with most of your kits. And as you know, it just slips in between the whatever it is you're working with. And you just pull it back out. Works pretty good, and I use it quite a bit. You always need tweezers. I've got two kinds here. There are many more. These work real good. I use them a lot. It depends on what you're doing, of course. This one I do use for multiple things. This is my tensioner. I just slip it over the wire, and it gets caught in here. And it keeps the tension. Just the weight of this keeps tension on it, especially doing hooks and reeving equalizers or bridles, whatever you want to call them. Even hooks, it works real good. It's got just enough weight to keep enough tension on the lines, keeps them from jumping pulleys. My favorite reeving tool are these. I'll see if I can get this up here where you can read it. And I'm going to show you one. This is what they do. They've got a big, it splits in half almost. I think you can see. I put the toothpick in there so you can see what it does. Once you put your wire in there, it locks into either of the ends. And this thing's got a lot of flexibility to it. So it's not stiff like these. This has no flexibility to it. This has plenty. They do wear out when you start bending them up a lot, but these things are real cheap, and I use this more than anything because it works so good. And especially when you're getting in between the roller guides, that's one of your toughest areas is when you're going by a roller guide because it's real tight. This thing just slips right in. Keep your wire on the roller. I love these things. Now these, there's two of them. I made these because I've got fat fingers and I cannot do a lot of stuff with my fingers with these little bitty models. And I'm going to show you what I use them for. Anytime you get these wires jump off, bear with me here. I'm going to use this. This is my example. As you can see, my fingers will not grab that wire. I could not get in there to grab these wires with my fingers. You can see how little the wire is compared to my fingers. These things here work real good. If I jump a wire, I can fit this in anywhere, grab it on this side, grab it on that side, pull it down here around the roller, and then just pull them right back out. It puts the wire back on the rollers every time. I just made them out of a little piece of wire. One of them's a little stiffer than the other one. And this little bitty one here is like a godsend to me, to be honest, because this thing's really tiny, the wire is, and it fits between the guides, the wire guides on the roller. So I can stick this up through the wire guide, snag my wire, and then just pull it right through. This thing here has saved me a bunch of times, whether it's on a bridle or an A-arm or a hook. This little thing saves me. Now I'm going to move this over here. And the 1600 here, these are the guides I'm talking about. And you can see that this wire would have to go through here and then under it. And there's another one down there. This 1600 was tough. Yeah, it's going to be kind of hard. Getting that around them. Those are tough. It has them here up on the bridle. So let me get it. Right there. And there's one on the bottom. And anytime you're running the wire through that, it is tough. It can be real tough. It's on here, top and bottom. You can see them right there. So as you're running, and I use that needle, I just pull the needle through here, shove it down here, back through this one, and then pull it tight as I pull it through this other side here. So it helps a lot, that little thing. I love it for doing these. Same with doing the hooks. There's your wire guides right there. So you're going through there, through the bottom, through the wire guide on this side and back up. Yeah, these things do take time. The best way to do these, I took the hook apart. Take these pins out, and you do these one at a time. And then when I'm done with one of them, I'll stick a pin in it, put a rubber band here, and then pull it over here to the boom, and with another toothpick, I'll tension it along here, and it literally pulls the hook back like that. Or the block that I did. It'll hold it up against there and hold tension on it. And then I set up my little thing, and I'll explain that, to do the other side. And once both of them are done, you just put the hook back together. It makes doing these easy, and you're not doing the whole hook. And that's especially true on that one. That would be real tough to do, if even the way I do them, if I hung my hook and up to here, and I'll show you how to do that, and weigh it, it still would have been real difficult to do it. So I took this hook apart. I don't know if I could, I don't remember if I took that one apart. I think I just hung that hook and reeved it like I'm going to show you. But I tried to take as many of these apart as I could. As far as doing these hooks, if you'll check the part 2 assembly of this link belt 238, I show how I hang this hook, put weight on it, and then reeve it. And I just use a little piece of string here like this with a couple of ends on it. I didn't use this one, they need to be bigger ends. And I'll put these ends on the hook, wrap this around the Wrap that around there. And this supports the hook. And then I'll take another piece of that with a couple of these, however many I need, stick the wire through here with a toothpick to hold it, and then I weigh the hook. I'll set that on the hook. Now the weight is supported on the boom top with a wire, and it's held tensioned here. And then when you're reeving, the hook stays where it is, and it made it a lot easier to reeve the hooks. Because if you're just hanging a hook and the first wire you put in it, it causes the hook to go at an angle because you've only got one wire on it. And that made it tough. So I weigh the hook, support it on the boom. So I did that one. They got more than 2 or 3. As a matter of fact, even the 3, like that one, I had to support and put weight on that one. It was tough. But the weight on the hook keeps the hook steady. And as you reeve and reeve and reeve, it stays level and in the same place. So that makes doing them easy. As far as doing these, the easiest thing is a rubber band here, tension it up to here, something to hold this steady as you do the reeving. Several ways to do them. Some people will stick the you can literally stick your bridle into the support, and you can just reeve it right here, a little tiny thing like that, and then hook your lines up to it and let it go with at the winch. Let's see, anything else? Everything else reeves the same way. I guess I covered everything. The A-arms, just make sure that everything stays still. Whatever you're trying to do. That's the biggest thing. Make sure it stays where it's supposed to be. Keep tension on the line so it doesn't unravel. And then you end up using them things to put them back on the pulleys. It drives us all nuts. We've all put up with it. These are just a couple things that have made it easy for me. Maybe they'll help you. Maybe you got a better idea. Post them if you do. Spread it around. Let's help everybody get these things, make it a little easier for everybody to reeve these things, because reeving is definitely the most time-consuming part of putting these together. And patience is the #1 priority. Remember how delicate these things can be, so you can't pull on them too much. You can't get rough. So if you get pissed off, yeah, don't get rough. You bust these things up. The cross reeving, as long as you're using string, I don't have a problem with it. It just takes weight on the hook, and these things work pretty good for me. Don't be afraid to try it. I did show how to do one of these with metal, and doing this cross reeving, how I went about doing it. It took me a few times to figure out a good way that worked for me. Now it's easy. So I've done them all. Anything that's supposed to be cross-reeved is cross-reeved. You can see them all. They all have it, just like they're supposed to be. All right, you guys, any questions? Leave it in the comments. I'm pretty good about answering them. pretty good about helping, and I love to see everybody get their cranes done right and make them look good. That's why I did a video on these tie-offs that I do. I think they look kind of good like that. Looks better than a knot. And you can check that out. I did do a video on it. Anything else? Leave them in the comments, you guys. In the meantime, I hope I've covered everything. If not, leave it in the comments section and I'll get to you. And if you got a tip of your own, leave that up here for everybody. Maybe somebody will catch it and it help them out, or even help me. All right, guys, that's it. Have a great day. I'll give you one more shot at these things. I love these things. They work too good for the cheap price that they are. Have a great day, y'all. Stay safe.